Hello and welcome to Stories of Science. Here, we look back on humanity's long journey to understand the world. The questions, the failures, and the breakthroughs that slowly changed how we see the universe and ourselves. We tell science as stories. The genius who transformed the digital world, the legacy of Claude Shannon. From the moment you received your first phone call, to the smartphone in your hand today, and even to the internet you use every day, Claude Shannon's influence is everywhere. Curious about how powerful information really is? Shannon's story is the key to unlocking that mystery. You might not recognize his name, but his theories have silently reshaped your daily life. You might think, Shannon? That name sounds a little unfamiliar. Was he some kind of invisible man in the world of mathematics? Don't worry, he's cooler than your funniest math teacher, especially when you realize he uncovered the secrets behind the numbers. It wasn't just a simple math formula, but a magic that changed how the modern world operates. Shannon wasn't the stereotypical scholar, always hunched over dusty books in some far-off library, wearing thick glasses. His ideas exploded like a bomb, shaking up the entire world of communications. What is information, you ask? Well, that's the very question Shannon set out to answer. Thanks to him, information became something measurable, something that could be calculated. He wasn't a scholar for just anyone to understand, but he had a way of making the world listen. Wait till you see how this man changed the details of everyone's life. Shannon's story starts in a modest, yet promising family. His father, a lawyer, seemed far removed from math, but he gave Shannon an unusual insight. Whatever you do, it must be logical. And his mother? She was a homemaker, quietly instilling knowledge in their home. She taught Shannon early on that intelligence isn't something you're born with, but something you gain through constant thinking and learning. Now, you might wonder, did Shannon's parents turn him into a boring bookworm? Quite the opposite. He was a natural-born genius. Did you know that by age 3, he was speaking 5 languages? By 4, he could do mental math and solve problems that even adults found head-scratching. His childhood math problems were way tougher than what you dealt with, don't believe it? Try solving them yourself. But Shannon wasn't just a math genius, his interests went far beyond that. He loved brainy games like puzzles, mazes, and math challenges. He could tackle nearly any obstacle. Have you ever daydreamed about cracking a world-class problem when you were young? Shannon did, and he did it early. He treated these math games as pure enjoyment. By the time he hit college, he was already deep into his academic journey. When Shannon went to the University of Michigan, he was torn between electrical engineering and math. His father was a lawyer, but Shannon didn't follow the family tradition. Instead, he chose electrical engineering, a field that would make the entire world of information no longer silent. He was the rebel of the math world, or maybe the rock star of academia. During college, he displayed extraordinary talent and didn't shy away from showing it. What's fascinating is, his interest wasn't just in bookish theory, he loved solving real-world problems with mathematical symbols. When Shannon continued his studies at MIT, the things he did were jaw-dropping. His master's thesis, titled A Symbolic Analysis of Relay and Switching Circuits, is considered the early foundation of information theory. Can you imagine? While you were up late cramming for your final paper, Shannon was using logical symbols to untangle complex relay circuits. This was a groundbreaking technical achievement, a genius at work. Shannon's work at MIT didn't just stay theoretical. He applied mathematical symbols to real-world circuit design, fundamentally changing how relay circuits were built. This opened up a new door for electrical engineering and laid the groundwork for information theory. If electrical engineering was Shannon's practice ground, his academic breakthroughs were already set to change the world. But that was just the beginning. Can you imagine? A young man was about to lay the very foundation for the communications world. He was just getting started, and his potential was already showing. Shannon's future was not just about designing complex circuits, the true world-changing challenges were just ahead. What made him so confident? His answers might be found in the jaw-dropping theories he discovered later on. Now, Shannon's story takes an even more thrilling turn. Imagine being in the eye of the storm during World War II. Enemies are everywhere, and securing communications is absolutely crucial. Meanwhile, Shannon was working on cryptography for the US government, solving the trickiest encryption problems from behind the scenes, helping the Allies break through enemy lines. Sounds like something out of a James Bond movie, right? But there were no tuxedos or fancy cars. Shannon's work was far more practical than any movie plot. His job was to keep communications safe and secure, ensuring that the enemy could never intercept them. Shannon was practically a superhero behind the scenes. His work didn't have the flashy appeal of a Hollywood action sequence, no public attention, no dramatic scenes, just a quiet world filled with mathematical symbols and codes, where he painstakingly solved one puzzle after another. His task was simple: turn every enemy's secret into an unsolvable mystery. And his weapon? Not a high-tech laser gun or extraordinary spy skills, but calculation and reasoning. He used mathematical theory to break through the obstacles set by the enemy, enabling the Allies to quickly decode encrypted messages. But Shannon wasn't alone. Like many geniuses, he had close ties with other brilliant minds, like Alan Turing. Picture this: a genius specializing in cracking codes and another genius designing intelligent machines. Their collaboration was even more powerful than the super hacker teams you see in the movies. Shannon was in charge of encryption, while Turing focused on decryption. Together, they were like the dynamic duo of cryptography. Turing used his computer technology to design a machine to crack enemy codes, the famous Turing machine, while Shannon applied math to optimize encryption and decryption processes. They were complementary, tackling a myriad of communication challenges during the war. Without their cooperation, victory in World War II might have been delayed. Shannon wasn't just a theorist, his work immediately turned into practical applications, helping the Allies break enemy code systems, including the infamous Enigma cipher. Imagine Shannon decoding enemy communications that seemed impossible to crack, becoming a silent hero behind the war effort. Every day, thousands of messages flowed between the enemy and the Allies, but Shannon and his team were like shadow warriors, making sure our information didn't fall into enemy hands. But Shannon's contributions didn't stop there. His encryption theories propelled modern cryptography forward. Today, the encryption technologies we use for the internet, online banking, and personal information protection are inspired by Shannon's research. Have you ever logged into a website and seen an encrypted connection? Have you ever thought about the theory behind that? Behind it all, it's probably Shannon's mathematical models that he was tirelessly working on during the war. If Shannon could provide such a powerful secret weapon during the war, imagine the magnitude of his contribution to global communications. He didn't just change the course of the war, he laid the groundwork for today's digital communications, cybersecurity, and data storage. His work in that era planted countless time bombs in the future, each one gradually exploding with technological advancements, deeply influencing our lives. Think about it: without Shannon's encryption theories, could you be sure your information wouldn't be stolen when you unlock your phone today? Without his mathematical models, digital payments, e-commerce, social media, and even our everyday internet use would face significant security risks. So, Shannon didn't just break wartime ciphers, he fortified the security of the digital age. But the legend of Shannon doesn't end there. Despite his massive contributions, he remained humble, hardly engaging in public activities. His work wasn't widely recognized like a Hollywood hero, and that was part of Shannon's charm. His ability to make the world function was far more important than fleeting fame. You may never have seen Shannon in a shiny suit, accepting awards on stage, but behind the scenes, he built an unbreakable wall of information security for us. Under the shadow of World War II, Shannon used his mathematical genius to help the world achieve victory, and his contributions to cryptography still impact our daily lives. So, today, when you send a message or make an online transaction, thank Shannon. His work didn't just help the Allies during the war, it laid the foundation for the digital security we rely on today. And all of this started with a simple question from a math genius: how can we keep information safe in a complex world? In 1948, Claude Shannon introduced a concept that would completely reshape the world. At the time, he probably couldn't have imagined that, decades later, every corner of modern society would rely on his theories. From watching YouTube, sending messages, to playing games on Wi-Fi, every second of your digital life is influenced by Shannon's work. His groundbreaking paper, A Mathematical Theory of Communication, is not just an academic piece, it's essentially the Bible of the information age. If you've never heard of Shannon, just think about it. Every WhatsApp message you send, every show you stream on Netflix, is all thanks to Shannon's theories making it possible. One of Shannon's core contributions was defining the bit, the fundamental unit of information. Sounds like a tech term, right? But in simple terms, it's just a 0 or a 1, the smallest unit of binary code. You might still be battling with complex passwords, but Shannon already figured out something: get the information clear first, then worry about security. Now it makes sense, doesn't it? When you're asked to set a complicated password, Shannon's theory is quietly reminding you that the clarity of the information is far more important than the complexity of the password. So, even though passwords are harder to remember, Shannon's work is still making sure you can navigate the internet safely and smoothly. Shannon's theory originally tackled the problem of noise in communication. Imagine texting on your phone when the signal's weak. The message might get lost or distorted. Shannon used mathematics to show us how to minimize this loss of information in noisy environments. This idea instantly revolutionized how we think about communication, bringing in the concept of standardization to data transmission. Every email you send, every chat you have, even every video call, all of it relies on Shannon's work defining the amount of information and mastering channel capacity. But Shannon didn't stop at defining the bit, he also introduced the concept of information content. Before him, people simply thought of information transmission as just sending a message. But Shannon wasn't satisfied with that. He believed that the amount of information wasn't just about the message itself, it's tightly linked to its uncertainty. For example, if you know what your friend had for breakfast, there's not much mystery to it. But if your friend suddenly says, "I'm quitting my job and traveling the world," now that's a whole different story. The amount of information has just shot up. Shannon's work is what allowed us to mathematically quantify what we used to consider random bits of info. Now, picture yourself watching a YouTube video on your phone, praying you don't hit a loading screen in the next 10 minutes. Little do you know, behind the scenes, Shannon's channel capacity theorem is silently at work. What's channel capacity? Simply put, it's the maximum rate at which information can be transmitted over a network. Shannon's theorem made it clear that every channel has a limit. This limit is determined by factors like signal strength and noise. Thanks to Shannon's formulas, we can calculate the optimal transmission rate under different conditions. You might be thinking, what does this have to do with me watching YouTube? Well, imagine you're sitting on the couch, enjoying the latest episode of your favorite series, with no delays or buffering. That's Shannon's law, making sure you don't run into bandwidth issues. Without his work, the bottlenecks in network speed would likely make watching HD content a frustrating experience. Today, you can surf the web smoothly, all thanks to Shannon's digital transmission solutions. Another game changer from Shannon was his coding theory. We all know that data is the backbone of the internet, and that data is in binary. Shannon used math to figure out the optimal way to encode this data, making it smaller for faster transmission. For instance, when you upload a photo online, Shannon's coding theory helps reduce the bandwidth it takes up. Whether you're streaming video, making calls, or sending voice messages, Shannon's work is there, quietly making information flow faster, more efficiently, and more reliably. So next time your video doesn't buffer or your call is crystal clear, take a moment to thank Shannon. His theories, after decades of development, have been applied across countless fields, not just in traditional telecom, but in the everyday internet tech we rely on today. Those ads you see online, the emails you send, and every status update you post on social media, all of them are built on Shannon's principles. Whether you realize it or not, Shannon's footprints are in every detail of your life. And in Shannon's world, information isn't just simple transmission and reception. His concept of noise changed how we think about information flow. Noise refers to the factors that interfere with communication. Today, we talk about network congestion and signal interference. These are all forms of noise. Shannon didn't just identify noise's impact, he also gave us the theory to combat it. Under Shannon's framework, communication isn't just a simple point A to point B process, it's a complex system. It's about ensuring information is transmitted accurately and securely, and minimizing errors along the way. Just like when you post a picture on social media, Shannon's theories are ensuring that image isn't blurry because of network delays. Shannon's work didn't just stay in the realm of communication, it profoundly influenced computer science, especially in digital computation and data compression. His way of thinking sparked future technological innovations. By combining math and engineering, he helped usher in the digital age. Today, all the data centers, cloud computing technologies, and even our everyday gadgets run efficiently within the framework Shannon created. And all of that stems from the groundbreaking paper he wrote about the rules of our digital world. You might never have thought about it, but those formulas of Shannon's determined whether your YouTube video would run smoothly, how fast your email would be delivered, and even how little lag you experience when gaming online. Every time you hit play on Netflix, Shannon's theories are working silently behind the scenes to give you that seamless experience. Don't forget, he's the unsung hero who ensures you don't hit that buffering icon. As technology advances, Shannon's theories remain the bedrock of our information society. Whether it's through 5G data transmission or quantum computing for more efficient processing, Shannon's wisdom will continue guiding us toward a more digital, information-driven future. You know that painful moment when you've set a complicated, hard-to-remember password, and then forget it? Well, Shannon thought of that too, though sadly, he never figured out how to make the forgot password button more user-friendly. But without Shannon, we probably wouldn't even have a secure password system, let alone the ability to protect our personal data. Not only did Shannon revolutionize information theory, but he also became a pioneer in encryption. Shannon's contributions to cryptography changed the world. Think about it today when you shop online and enter your credit card info, just how sensitive that data is. Without Shannon's encryption theories, that information might be intercepted during transmission, with catastrophic consequences. Shannon's encryption theory ushered in a new era of cryptographic algorithms, particularly balancing symmetric and asymmetric encryption. In simple terms, Shannon introduced the concept of a key, explaining how to ensure information stays safe during transmission. First, let's talk about symmetric encryption. In this method, both the sender and receiver use the same key to encrypt and decrypt information. Think of the key as a magic key that keeps your secrets locked up. Shannon's math helped us understand how to ensure this key remains unbreakable. Without Shannon, we might not even have the most basic encryption methods we use today. Then, there's asymmetric encryption, another breakthrough from Shannon. Unlike symmetric encryption, asymmetric encryption uses a pair of keys, one public, one private. You can share the public key, but no one can use it to crack your private key. Thanks to Shannon, we now have a secure encryption method that doesn't require sharing the key. This method became the foundation for internet security, and it's the backbone of everything from digital payments to social media protection. You might think of Shannon as a hero of passwords, but he was far more than that. His cryptography theories also laid the groundwork for modern digital encryption technologies, including blockchain and cryptocurrencies. That's right, Shannon's work in encryption theory could be considered the grandfather of Bitcoin. While many factors contributed to the birth of Bitcoin, without Shannon's foundational work in information security, digital currencies might never have existed. Imagine, Shannon had already begun thinking about how to secure the information world. His encryption principles provided the theoretical foundation for today's blockchain and cryptocurrency technologies. Shannon's cryptography work gave us a new way to keep information safe, even in untrusted environments. It's like when you pay with your credit card, there's no bank clerk watching your transaction. Yet Shannon gave us the ability to protect our privacy and assets in an open, even unsafe, network environment. Even more importantly, Shannon's influence extends far beyond cryptography. His theories have penetrated all areas of computing, networking, data transmission, and digital storage. Whether you're using mobile payments, opening an encrypted email, or browsing a secure website, Shannon's theories are silently protecting your information. Every digital signal you encounter is backed by his encryption principles. Shannon didn't just build bridges for communication, he built the walls that protect our privacy. He wasn't just a scientist studying encryption, he was a force using science to create a safer networked world. Even today, when we're all concerned about privacy breaches and data misuse, Shannon's cryptographic theories remain our strongest shield. Shannon's encryption theory continues to resonate to this day. Though when he first introduced these ideas, he probably didn't foresee the internet's explosive growth or the rise of digital currencies, his foresight has allowed encryption technology to rapidly evolve and embed itself in every corner of modern society. You might not think about cryptography every day, but Shannon's impact is like the air we breathe. It's invisible, but always there, quietly securing our digital world. And the next time you forget a password and kick yourself for it, just remember, up there, Shannon is probably smiling and comforting you with, "Don't worry, at least I left you a secure encryption formula." Shannon's personal life was as humble as his approach to math. He wasn't the type of father who would make his kids solve complex math problems. Actually, he preferred watching them play with mechanical toys. His life was a low-key tech fest, keeping his family life private while his monumental achievements shook the world. You can imagine that while other scientists were busy pushing the boundaries of tech, Shannon was probably at home, sitting with his wife Meta, casually discussing which toy would captivate their kids the most. But don't think Shannon lived his life like a meticulous machine. His relationships with other scientists were anything but simple. You might not know it, but Shannon had deep collaborations with tech giants like John von Neumann and Alan Turing. Picture this: when Shannon and von Neumann were discussing a problem, you could hear this kind of exchange. "Do you think this is a math problem?" Von Neumann would probably frown and respond, "No, it's a coding problem." Shannon unlocked the world of information with math, and von Neumann followed suit, pushing the world of computers to its limits. Together, they were like the dynamic duo of the tech world, sparking ideas that could light up the entire field. Their collaboration wasn't just about advancing technology, it was the foundation that would cement Shannon's name in the annals of science. Not only was he the pioneer of the digital world, but he was also the pillar of his family. This non-typical genius persona gives us a rare perspective. Shannon was not just a tech pioneer, he was also an ordinary father. Like his contributions to technology, his life didn't need much fanfare but was quietly pushing the world forward. Shannon's influence didn't stop with his family or colleagues. His research directly impacted all aspects of the information age, especially in communications, computers, and the internet. Every time you make a phone call, send a text, or watch a video, Shannon is like a silent partner, helping make sure the flow of information is smooth. Yes, it's Shannon's theories that let you watch videos, send emails, and communicate on your phone without relying on slow postal services like in the old days. Imagine a world without Shannon, where we still relied on snail mail. No instant messaging, no online shopping, no cloud computing. The arrival of the digital age is inseparable from Shannon's groundbreaking contributions. The digital age might sound cool today, but without Shannon's work, we could still be waiting for a letter from far away, and we might not even have email. Shannon's encryption and information theories directly drove global communication and information flow, radically changing the face of modern society. He wasn't just a breakthrough scientist, he was the quiet hero of modern life. Shannon's research didn't stay on paper, it's woven into every corner of our lives. Think about it: when you talk to friends or family on the phone, or when you see a web page load quickly, have you ever stopped to think that this smooth experience is the result of Shannon's work? He laid the foundation for global networks and communications, making sure we could seamlessly connect and communicate in today's digital world. As Shannon's contributions gain more recognition, his legacy will continue to influence our lives. With a single paper, he changed the rules of information transmission, turning digital communication from a possibility into something smooth, fast, and scalable. Today, every time you make a call, send a text, or share a photo, Shannon's theories are at work, providing secure, efficient information flow. If Shannon could see how far his theories have gone, he'd probably laugh and say, "I was just giving numbers names, and ended up fixing the world." You see, the influence of scientists often begins with what seems like a simple theory, but these theories can change the very way society functions. Think about how Shannon's work is deeply embedded in our daily lives. Every time you click on your computer, Every time you scroll on your phone, you're benefiting from his profound impact on information theory. If you're curious about how Shannon's theories have changed the little details of your life, drop a comment telling me which digital tools you use the most. Let's chat about how this unsung hero changed our digital world today. The people who change the world usually just think one step deeper. If this story made you see things differently, hit like, subscribe, and save it. See you in the next story.